Welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of the XXL DJ300 mixer repair or restoration, and continue with this board. I replaced all the sliders which were worn out, but I'm not going to show you all the work I've done. I only show you what I think are the most interesting bits. In this video I am concentrating on the digital sound effects, which is done by one bulb chip. I have no clue what this chip is and I cannot find any datasheets of it. Maybe you do. As you can see, this side of the board is terrible. But before I continue, I want to make sure the chip is working. I'm going to work on this chip. I actually don't know really what it is, but the print says ICA 5391. I couldn't find any specs of it, but I draw the schematic, and it's actually only the chip. It's used for the sound effects, and we have the voltage coming in, power supply, we have audio coming out, and we have the switches here for the different effects. I think this thing is actually working on 5 volts, but I'm not sure. I'm going to test it on my breadboard. So I will add some headers to this, and that's also making it much easier to install again and test it on the breadboard. So that's what I'm going to do now. I use this SIF socket to solder the pin headers. I can't simply insert all the pins, as only the required ones have corresponding holes on the PCB. Now all the pin headers are in the corresponding places. I can solder these on the PCB or blob chip. I speed this up in the video. It is not only easier to solder this blob chip on the PCB, but I can also use it on my breadboard for testing. I install it here and make the necessary connection as found on the PCB. Okay, I have connected the sound chip, and I hooked it up to my scope. It's on 5 volts. 5 volts from the power supply that's coming in from here. And it's going through a 500 ohm resistor to the chip. And when I connect one of the switch connectors, you can see that I have a pattern, and here I have a different pattern, and another one. And that's fun. The chip is working, so I can install it again on the PCB, and I will add a 5 volt voltage regulator, so I don't get over voltage. This is perfect. Why should I put it on 15 volts if it's working on 5 perfectly? Here's another pattern. Okay, great. Next. With the pin adders I do not have to install the chip as it was done. I can now very easily place the chip and solder it to the PCB. No dodgy wires. But I still have another challenge on this circuit. Just look at this place where I have to place the switches back. A lot of tracers are damaged and disappeared, so I still have a lot of work to do. The PCB is dissipating a lot of heat. That is why I changed solder iron, one with more thermal mass. Time to install the switches again. I do not do anything with the bad tracers yet. I install the switches and make sure they are flat on the PCB. That's why I only solder one contact first, and when it's flat and straight on the PCB I solder the other contacts. Now all switches are installed, I repair the bad and missing traces. Some use a fiber pen, but I hate these things because of the fibers. I just use a sharp knife to remove the solder mask from the traces. And as you can see, it works just fine. For the last bits I use a diamond file. Before I tin the trays, I clean the dust off. I tin the trays and then I can attach a wire to the contacts of the switch. I use a wire-up wire, which I turn around the switch contact. It's small, but with some patience you get a strong and good connection. And here you have the wire I use for PCB trace repair. I still have a few more to do, and I will do this off camera. When all the traces are done, I protect them from corrosion with a UV solder mask. For this board I also have to reattach the flat cables, where for some reason or from factory, which I don't believe, the connectors are removed. I do not replace them. It is a nice project, but this mixer is very cheap and it's not worth to reconnect the connectors to the flat cables. The sliders are all worn out. I replaced them all. Again, I solder one contact, get the slider flat on the PCB and solder the other contacts, and that times 6. Now one more slider to go and then I can start rebuilding this mixer, which was in a terrible state. In the next video there will be a lot more progress and hopefully there is a full working mixer again. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like this channel. See you next time.